Hello, friends.
Happy Saturday. How's it going?
Happy
Happy Saturday.
Oh, jeez.
How's it
Happy
going?
Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Oh, jeez.
How's it
Happy
going?
Saturday. Oh, jeez. Fractal. All right, fractal.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Two.
So, good. 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 All good. So we're going to bring that back up and bring this up. Howdy, friends. Figure I'd chat there. Saturday afternoon stream, it all makes sense. Hey! I already got a cool nerd here. That was very fast.
Oh,
welcome, cool
right.
nerd. You're so cool.
And nerdly.
As long as there's any possibility that could be his own daughter who was kidnapped, I doubt the Justice Minister will call off the execution tonight. The key to dispelling the minister's doubts is now in bed, coughing, and I need to use this key before the prison van arrives to pick up the death row inmate.
The mistress of Hunt and Peck.
My darling angel, oh, just listen to that cough. You naughty thing. Did you leave your nice warm bed to go out into the night and play? A daughter after my own heart. But I must confess, I didn't even notice you were gone.
I didn't go out and play. I went to buy Papa a birthday present. He said he wanted a new lighter.
But that's no reason to go out this late at night.
But my fever finally went down. I could barely move before that.
I like the way the ice bag bounces.
But look what it brought you. Your fever is worse now than ever. Here's to the feverish passion of my darling angel.
Mama,
Yes, darling.
let's call Papa and wish him a happy birthday, even though it's already past midnight.
Not tonight, Amelie.
I hate you! Looks like this little girl was safe all along. I already knew that, but I'm still relieved all the same. There's another lucky development, too. Amelie wants to call her father. Now, if I can just make use of that feeling somehow, that would surely bring the Justice Minister around. The phone!
Amelie, I told you you couldn't call him tonight.
Why not?
Listen to me, Amelie. Your father is about to make a big mistake. I want him to reconsider.
What do you know about it, Mama? He's the one who's the Justice Minister, you know? All you do is write weird novels.
What do you mean, weird? How dare you disparage my romantic expressions? Now you really made me angry. You really have. How do you expect me to forgive such an insult?
What is that phone plugged into?
I hate you!
There. I'll be keeping my eye on you now, so you won't do anything else mischievous. Like calling your father.
I hate you.
I can hear you, you know.
What a pair. I don't know what this family's issues are, but I do know I have to do something about this lady so Amelie can call. Better not put out the lamp right now. It will only pour oil on the flames of anger in this lady's heart. If I want to give Amelie a chance to use the phone, I have to think of a way to keep her mother out of the way. That's why I'm screwing with stuff.
I'm gonna screw up the time.
Oh goodness, look at the time! As I bask in my tale of love, time has been moving on at the speed of light!
Even though she's immersed in love, she still can hear this, huh? This won't buy enough time for her daughter to make a phone call. There must be something else I can distract her with. How about a mouse? This is gonna be an interesting one. Ladies' Dictionary. Wasn't this on our desk before? Poor thing. Destined to never be returned to the bookshelves. Too weak.
Well, well, having a good time, are we, little rodent? Sweet dreams! Did you fancy the vintage, my whiskered friend?
What a meanie. Exterminating with a wine bottle. He's more powerful than I thought. Looks like she tipped the wall candelabra to one side, too. Angle of those candles. I get the feeling I've seen something very similar to that quite recently.
Oh heavens! A blackout! At a critical time like this? Of course, dim lights suit my story of love very well, but I, myself, am not very fond of the dark. This chandelier just narrowly missed the back of my head. I love the thrill of romance, but I don't need these kinds of thrills. Thank you!
Lights matches with their butt.
I'm pretty sure that would do the opposite of extinguishing a match. Wine flambe. What a wonderful atmosphere! Perfect for a clandestine meeting in the dusky twilight.
I don't exactly know how this situation came about, but I think I owe the rat an apology. The rat seems to be unconscious, but now that the room has changed into this, maybe I can use it somehow. Just barely.
Oh, you can. You can reach that lever now that it's exposed.
No, you're right.
What a naughty chandelier! Such insolence!
This lady's surprisingly quick. She dodged that thing like a pro. Guess I better get serious here.
That was close!
She's just like happy to walk underneath it over and over again. Okay, she dodges from both angles.
Insolence such!
Gotta reconnect.
Didn't know if there was like a timing thing, you know? That's twice she managed to dodge like that. Who knew she was a dodging champion? I'm starting to get annoyed. Let me try that again. I'll get her this time.
Repeated dialogue?
Maybe. Okay. I thought maybe if she couldn't see.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I know you do have to get her trapped in the chandelier somehow, but I don't remember the exact sequence of events.
Is it insolence or insulation? Whatever, I'll look it up tomorrow.
So she's wondering about her dictionary. Just spins.
That was close.
Bless you.
Thank you.
There's gotta be something else I can do.
I think if you can find a way to distract her while she's under the chandelier.
That's kind of what I was thinking. That's why I was like, I'm gonna make the lamp burn brighter. Maybe. No, I can't do anything over there right now.
I think maybe the clock.
Make it chime when she's underneath.
Yeah.
Who built this rattle-trap apartment?
Dang it.
It donged at her.
Oh goodness, look at the time. Same dialogue.
Oh, that was that new text? No. Old text.
Like, as far as I can tell. Can't play with that anymore. I can't reach anything else. This isn't a restart thing either.
No, you can't restart. You literally can't get
Yeah.
stuck here. You literally can't.
Unless you're just dumb like me.
I have.
Can't reach anything else. That doesn't do anything. I can make that burn brighter, which does nothing. I can turn that, which
Yeah.
does nothing. I can make the wall clock chime, which does nothing. I can make that swing harder, but it doesn't seem like it does anything. Can't turn that off. I can turn on the wastebasket, or I can turn on the lighter. She doesn't notice
Okay.
on either of those. Yeah, that's
Maybe it is a timing thing, but I don't.
like getting her right underneath.
Yeah, but
It is kind of what's implied. She's like, "I'll get her this time." you know?
yeah. Because I remember there are other pieces of the puzzle that come together once you catch her, but I could. So it
That
was
was
just a timing thing.
That's
okay.
silly.
Holly, help me!
Mama! I'm sorry, Mama. I'm too dizzy. I can't get up. I'm afraid I can't help you right now.
Here's to the weakness of my darling angel.
That chandelier is on they're tighter than her wedding band. She won't be able to escape on her own.
I think you can use the hoist now. Nope.
She didn't like the dark. Don't want her thrashing around more. Can't interact with the candelabra.
Maybe the handle again. Maybe you can reel her up from the handle.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What's going on here? Holly, look! Do you see this? Help me, please!
Sorry, I'm too sick. I can't get out of bed. My head's spinning, so I guess you'll just have to stay up there spinning too. Looks like this lady won't be going anywhere for a while. Now the little girl can call her father. Only trouble is she can't reach it. Guess I'll just have to deliver it to her. Oh, that's right, the angle of those candles. Saw something very similar just recently, didn't I? Now it'll let me interact with it. I guess, maybe not.
Try making it flare up now that she's stuck in it.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Bird of the rat tail. Poor rat's having a bad day. Now I make the pendulum swing harder.
It's a char ratter.
Poor rat.
Tutter is just having the worst day.
Mama!
What in the world is going on here?
Oh, goody. Excuse me a minute while I call Papa. Okay, Mama? I'll only be a minute.
Oh, don't you dare, Amelie! I won't have it! Get me down!
Swinging the rat hard for no reason. Hello, Papa! Amelie, is that you? Of course it is, silly. What do you think? But I heard they said you were... Oh. No, never mind. It's nothing. Silly old Papa. Happy birthday, Papa. Birthday? All right, it was my birthday today, wasn't it? I'm sorry we couldn't celebrate tonight. Thanks to mean old Mama. Oh, your mean old Mama. I mean your mother. What is she up to right now? Well, she's certainly up all right. My stubborn mother is kind of tied up at the moment.
Get rid out!
She needs to be taught a lesson for causing us so much trouble. No, Amelie. I'm the one who was wrong. Huh? Could you tell your mother I'm sorry? What do you have to be sorry about? I was just about to make a terrible mistake. But it's all right now. His face doesn't look as lined anymore. Oh, okay. You're still young. There's a lot I can't tell you right now. The job of Justice Minister is very complicated, you see. Okay. But just remember, you're always the most important thing to your mother and me. Did you do something naughty to your mother? If you did, I want you to apologize. I don't think I did anything. But okay, I'll apologize. That's a good girl. Okay, Papa. Have a good night. I love you. I love you too, Amelie. Good night, sweetheart. Mama? I'm sorry.
My goodness, why the sudden change?
I guess I was wrong about you. I didn't understand.
Oh, Amelie.
I thought all you ever did was write these weird novels.
That makes me a little sad.
Papa said the job of Justice Minister was complicated.
Yes, your father's job is very complicated and difficult. That's why I couldn't talk to you about most of it. But you're right, I shouldn't treat you like such a little girl anymore. You're growing up, after all.
And promise to stop calling your novels weird. Oh, I promise. And try actually reading them.
What? Maybe you'd better wait until you're a little older for that.
Okay.
So, Amelie, if you're feeling a little more charitable toward your old mama, do you think you could let me down now?
You know, I would love to do that. But I'm just feeling too dizzy and sick right now.
Tonight, on this holiest of nights, my deadline, it looks like the only thing pressing on me will be this chandelier. Here's to Papa and Mama's darling angel.
All of a sudden, everybody's getting along again. Such an abrupt change. I can't understand it. Is this what family's all about? In any case, the situation's changed dramatically now. I just hope the mysteries of me can be cleared up as quickly as the furrows on the minister's brow. I don't know where Camilla is. Camilla. I keep wanting to do that because of the election. But at least now the Justice Minister's doubts are dispelled. I think I'll go back to his office where everybody's waiting for the prison van. The minister's family now has their smiles and harmony back, but Camilla is still in the hands of the kidnappers. I decided to go back to the Justice Minister's office. Surprisingly, the minister's brow is still just as furrowed as ever. Quite unlike a father who's just learned his daughter is safe, he still seems to be in the depths of despair. The atmosphere in this room is very different now. It seems to have an air of unfocused anxiety. I get the feeling something big's gonna happen. I just found out that my daughter's safe. I'd like to express my gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for my daughter's sake and for mine. No need to thank us, Mr. Minister. It was nothing. What did he do? But one question. I can't help but notice. Your daughter's safe. And yet you still look unhappy. How about a little smile for us? Ah! Of course, there's still the matter of the other kidnapping victim. But is that really the only thing that troubles you, Mr. Minister?
They get so much mileage out of these animations.
Please, let me think in peace until the prison van arrives. Wonder if Lynn's at the park yet. Until we get her report, I guess I'll just have to wait here. The continued distress of the ministers is really something... There's something more to it, like the inspector in white said. Hello, Justice Minister. How about you finally admit I do exist? That thank you I expressed, that was meant for you. You're a ghost, aren't you? And you have the power to control and manipulate people, don't you? No, I don't have that kind of power. I can't control you. We've actually known, for quite a while now. But I had no idea they were the powers of the dead or ghosts. Known? Known about what? We knew about the existence of somebody who could control others. A manipulator.
What's this?
That's why your execution order caused me so much anguish, Detective Jowd.
Mr. Minister, why don't you just tell us everything you know?
Yes, I suppose I should. You need to hear it all. All about the huge mistake that foolish man made. There are some cases in this country right now that are under a top-secret investigation. Of course, you wouldn't have known about them, Detective Jowd.
Right. They don't share too much top-secret information with the inmates in prison.
There are 3 prisoners, including you, in the special prison you just escaped from. All 3 cases have certain points in common.
They do they? Tell us more.
The rock singer who leaked national secrets in his lyrics during a broadcast on TV. The erect wiener man who took the chief commissioner hostage at the Metro Police Department. Neither of these men had a motive for their crime, and both of their crimes were impossible.
Impossible?
The curry lover had no way of knowing how to infiltrate the commissioner's office, and the rock singer had no way of knowing the national secrets he leaked. The Special Investigation Unit submitted an investigative report to me on them. They concluded that these men's criminal acts were not of their own volition.
But how could that be?
The theory the unit came up with was the existence of a manipulator. A manipulator, huh? That's when the special prison was established as a facility to research that theory.
I'm on data, but I cannot skip ghost tricks.
Hello, I'm glad you're here, even if you are on data. Some unknown power has been at work. These past several years, Inspector Cabanela has been studying these cases.
He has he?
Manipulating somebody into committing a criminal act, according to the inspector. The first case of its kind was a locked room murder involving our nation's best detective.
Are you trying to say I was manipulated somehow into shooting Alma? I appreciate the theory, but unfortunately, I don't recall being controlled by anybody. It's just not possible to manipulate another's behavior like that.
My powers certainly don't work on living creatures. That's what I thought when I first heard the theory too. However, I was seriously mistaken and it proved to be a big mistake.
What?
I was mistaken, so it was a mistake. You mentioned a mistake. Could you tell us about it? I suppose everybody here has the right to know. All right, fine. I'll speak out loud so that Inspector Cabanela can hear this too.
Having a ghost around to facilitate telepathy is really handy.
Yeah. There's something I'd like the 2 of you to hear. It's about a mistake I made. Inspector Cabanela, when you first made that report about a manipulator, I'm afraid I didn't believe it at all. Impossible, I thought. Perfectly understandable, Mr. Minister. But I was wrong. That kind of power does exist. And I learned the truth of that firsthand. What's this? A month ago, I signed the order to carry out Detective Jowd's execution. However, the act wasn't of my own volition. I was being controlled. What? You never told me about this, Mr. Minister. What's going on? This document, what am I doing? No, I mustn't sign it. Wait, don't deliver that document. Off to deliver.
Being yerked like that would traumatize anyone.
That's when it started. That's when all of my fear, despair, and suffering began. At the time, it didn't even cross my mind that I'd been manipulated. My memory of the event was only hazy at best. So the memory of being manipulated doesn't clearly remain, huh? Signing execution orders is part of a justice minister's job. At the time, I just thought my psyche was rebelling against the task. But the next day it dawned on me. I remember Inspector Cabanella's report on the existence of a manipulator. As a minister of justice, I couldn't admit what had happened to me. I only signed the execution order because I was being controlled. If something like that got out, this nation's judicial system would crumble. Besides, I had no evidence to present that I had actually been controlled. So in the end, I couldn't admit to anybody what had happened. I suppose. But it sounds a bit like an excuse. You should have at least told us, Mr. Minister. Yes, I know, I should have. I was running away from the problem. And then my wife found out I was worried about something. Well, if you go around with an expression like that, I guess it's bound to happen. I explained it to her, and she was dead set against the way I was handling it.
If you don't withdraw that order and tell everyone the truth immediately, I'm out.
And then, with the kidnapping tonight, with it thrust under my nose like that, I could no longer deny my mistake. This manipulator comes upon us from somewhere unseen. That's why I've been keeping my distance from everybody. So that's why you've been telling people to stay back. So there's somebody else besides me with the powers of the dead. I'm fine with that. After all, I already knew about a certain desk lamp. What I'm not fine with is the fact that the person can control and manipulate living creatures. That's certainly not something I can do. Apparently, different ghosts get different ghost tricks. But I never imagined that tonight I would find out where this kind of power comes from. Where it comes from. Inspector Cabanella, this manipulator is a ghost, a departed spirit. A spirit? As a matter of fact, there's a ghost talking to us right now. What'd you say? Chow, don't tell me you can hear this ghost too.
I'd say the only person who can't hear him is you. The guards don't
Spirit?
count.
Ghosts, gods in heaven? Excuse me, Mr. Minister. I suddenly have some urgent business to attend to. I recommend you think long and hard before making your final decision, sir. Inspector!
This is Lynn. I'm at the park.
We've been waiting to hear from you. Have you found the evidence?
He's too handsome to die.
Yeah.
Well, the situation here is... it's kind of difficult to explain. Sissel, if you're there, come to the park immediately.
Looks like your help is needed, Sissel. Yeah, I guess so, huh? I knew, actually, right from the beginning. Knew what? That you saved my life the first time we met tonight. Oh, that. When I talked about that miserable, pathetic, short-sighted, disgraceful man, I knew I was talking about me. I hated who I'd become. But you helped me appreciate the truth. Now I truly understand the wonderful support I've been getting from so many, including that of my loving family. I'm glad to hear that. I'm starting to realize what a lucky man I am. It's all thanks to you. Never saw that coming. The minister was being controlled, huh? Truly sorry, Detective Jowd. I have no excuse to offer you.
You know, maybe it was all for the best.
What do you mean?
If you had never been manipulated, you never would have believed the power existed. After all, you're a realist, right? Just goes to show you, you never know when even the worst things can turn out good.
Detective Jowd, I don't know what to say.
Alright, Sissel, you'd better go help Lynn. She's a good kid, but she's got a habit of taking on other people's problems.
Yeah, I know. Let's see, she's in Timsic Park, right? Nope.
Manipulating around people is frustrating sometimes.
Wonder why the inspector in white went running out like that. But I'm more concerned about Lynn. She looked really upset. Better go see her fast.
It's interesting he can see over the phone line.
Park.
Off to 10-6. Manipulating around people is an interesting thing to say.
Yes. I am manipulating around them, not manipulating them. Lynn calls and I oblige. I take off towards Timsic Park, the place where clearly something big is taking place. The manipulator, the person whose very existence sheds new light on everything, Detective Jowd's crime, the execution orders, and even my own death. Could it be? Could Lynn have been manipulated into shooting me? Sweet.
All right.
We'll go for another chapter.
Chapter 14, 1:28 p.m. PM? Don't you mean AM?
Yeah. Probably AM. Timsic Park, the site of the little lady Camilla's abduction tonight, and the place where an important piece of evidence, the music box, was hidden. Wonder why our lady detective's looking so dejected. At least she isn't dead. What'd she find?
It's 2:26 p.m. somewhere.
Huh? What's he doing here?
La la la, let me spend a moment's time with you, my love. The world will not end if the food delivery is a little late. La la la.
A little late. It's already ice cold. I see.
Oh, there you are, Sissel. Poor guy, his nose was so beautiful before the accident.
Before the bread accident of 97. For your dejected expression, I gather you didn't find what you were looking for.
Right, I can't find the music box anywhere. But I found something else instead. Something horrible.
Horrible? What is it?
There, in the grass. You'd better see for yourself.
Looks like a dead body.
I nearly died when I saw it, and I suppose now that we found it, we can't just leave it there, can we?
Nope, suppose not.
Stop the park from being turned into a housing site! Protect the park! The Rock of the Gods! You there!
You're talking to me, aren't you?
I have some leaflets for you. Leaflets I know you'll be very interested in.
I urge you to peruse it thoroughly, examine it in detail.
Never mind that right now. Do you remember your name?
My name. What does my name matter when there are more important things to worry about?
Okay.
Come now and study these tracks with me, my brother. Come and learn about the Rock of the Gods with me. The night is no longer young. As a matter of fact, daybreak is approaching, but we are young.
Look, I don't have time to get involved in your way of life, but I am interested in your way of death. So let's go back to 4 minutes before your death.
And so I made up my mind. I resolved to live here in this park and defend it.
Okay, what does that have to do with the Rock of the Gods you mentioned?
You still don't appear to understand. It's written quite clearly in the fourth leaflet in great detail.
Excuse me, but I have to use the restroom.
This guy sounds like a supermarket PA. Okay.
I'm coming! Just hold on! I'll be right there!
I've located the target, Beauty. A girl of the right age, coming out of the right apartment building at the right time. Oh! Yes, my dear, I'll ever so gently nab her and come right back to your side. Good evening, young lady. Won't you come with me?
Oh gods, what do I do? What should I do? I have to do something!
What in the world just happened?
Oh, that's Mino!
Mino?
Mino, the mascot, the symbol of Tensic Park!
Forget about the name of that big creepy lump of concrete. I'm talking about the way it changed direction. Did you see that?
Yes, I did! We witnessed it with our own eyes! The power of the Rock of the Gods! That was the power of the gods! The power of the gods saved that little girl!
And then the same power very deliberately crushed you instead?
Yes, precisely! That is called the mischief of the gods!
Oh gods, my roast is ruined. Was it the mischief of the gods, or was it a ghost trick? Nah, it couldn't have been a ghost trick. No ghost trick could change the direction of something that heavy midair. But wait a minute. What if there was somebody with much greater powers than me? There could be, Sissel. There could be. We don't know anything about our lamp friend. Look at that. There's another flame besides mine.
Oh, so that's the flame of a god, is it? But hold on. Your spirit is a flame too, isn't it?
Yeah, so?
Pardon me, but are you a god?
I sincerely doubt it. At the last minute, that big lump of concrete made a huge swing to one side. Probably the flames doing. Who could it be?
I definitely believe it's either a god or somebody god-related.
Huh. Maybe I better try talking to this person. What the? Person with much greater powers than me. It's you? Oh my! It's
Mitchell!
You look well for being dead.
Did you see? Did you see what I did? I did it! I tried really hard. I did it! I saved Miss Camilla! Are you telling me I was done in by a puppy dog?
Missile, what's going on? How'd you get the powers of the dead?
I'm glad you asked. After Miss Camilla went out and you left, I worked like crazy to make my own path, and I did it!
But I followed Miss Camilla out into the big wide world! I'm peeking the mic like crazy. Sorry, nerd. And then, here at this park, I found her at last!
Let me turn you down just a little.
It's hard to do missile quietly. Yes, you guessed it! I bumped! You bet I did, and I went running after her, too! And then I guess I died. And then I was unconscious for a little while. When I came to, it was all over. Poor Miss Camilla crushed under that big scary lump.
Oh, what have I done? I'm so sorry, little lady. Please forgive me.
I had to rescue Miss Camilla. It was up to me. I cried out from the depths of my heart. And then... I can't tell you how surprised I was, but I bet you understand, right?
Better than probably anybody else could.
And then I remembered what you did for me, how you saved me.
So, you went back, right? Back to 4 minutes before the little lady's death.
You bet I did.
Yes, my dear. I'll ever so gently nab her and come right back to your side.
That was my chance, I thought. I saw the core.
I don't know. Looks pretty far.
I stretched out my paw toward the core. Oh, how I felt at that moment. I'd love for you to be able to feel it too. Go ahead, Sissel. Go ahead and try it for yourself.
I can't believe it. How could you connect over such a great distance?
Well, they don't call me Missile for nothing.
Huh. So then you manipulated that Mino thing and threw it aside.
Right on top of my head.
Well, no, actually.
Huh?
I can't manipulate things like you can, Sissel.
You can't? How'd you...
I didn't know what to do. Then I happened to see something out of the corner of my eye. And it had a core too. A single leaf hanging from the tree. I tried reaching out to the leaf.
What in the world?
I can't manipulate things, but apparently I can swap them. As long as the two things have the same shape, that is.
Swap things with the same shape?
Go ahead and try it. A swap.
That's incredible. So that's how you saved your mistress, is it?
And that's how I became caught up in this, is it?
I'm very sorry. My powers were too meager.
Meager?
Because, you see, I saw one more. I happened to notice one more core. There was something with the exact same shape stuck in the branches of a tree.
Hey, you're right. If Mino could be swapped again with that...
Then disaster wouldn't have to rain down on my head.
What is that thing? It's too big to be a leaf.
Whatever it is, I'd much prefer it on my head than Mino.
Drop a football on him. So why didn't you swap him, Missile?
I couldn't. I can stretch out my paw a little further than you can, Sissel. But this was just too far for me. I couldn't reach.
Should turn him back up.
I admit it's a fascinating spectacle of a death, if I do say so myself.
I kept retrying over and over, seeing if there was anything I could do.
Bet there's something you can do.
Huh?
If we work together, you and me.
Sissel, you think so?
I don't plan on letting anybody die in front of me tonight. Do you think you could help me?
Of course.
Naturally!
So we're going to drop that Mino thing in a different spot. Okay, let's try it. Let's go back again, 4 minutes before. That's how they expand the game and giving you new powers, is by adding another ghost. That's fun. Alright, let's get started. 4 minutes from now, you'll swap Mino with the Leaf. Then you have to swap Mino with something else. Something with the same shape.
Oh, I believe that's a rugby ball.
Okay, rugby ball, huh? But with the rugby ball where it is now, Missile can't reach it. So that means I have to move it closer somehow. Looks like you and I will have to work together on that one, Missile.
Okay, I'm ready. Whenever you want to use my swap trick, just press right trigger. That way you'll be able to control me. And then if you press right trigger...
Control will come back to me.
Okay, let's try it. Together we can stop Mino from hurting anybody.
It's a trowel.
Uh-oh. Are you stuck?
I'm sorry about all this trouble, Sissel. If only my paw could reach a little further, I could have swapped that big lump one more time.
Swapped it with that rugby ball in the tree nearby.
That's alright. That's what we're gonna do now, together.
I'm gonna give it my best.
First thing to do is to find a path to that rugby ball. Certainly seems like that.
Huh? Are you coming back to talk to me again?
No, I...
I wish you would talk to me. We could discuss the gods.
Oh boy. Just came this way without giving it much thought, but now there's no core for me to get back.
You failed to follow the path of the gods.
Huh, maybe I better start over. That's funny.
So, Missile is in the past, swapping Mino, and here right now, helping Sissel.
Yeah, just a second.
I think it's less that the ghosts still exist in the past, so much as their actions echo in the past. Their tricks, so to speak.
Grab that over here. See what this was. Probably nothing. Yeah, I don't think this has anything to do with me. Okay. Yep. That's not important. Just making sure, because I got tagged, so just making sure it wasn't something I needed to address. Alright, Missile. Your powers are the key this time.
Okay, I'm ready. I can swap anything that has the same shape. Just call on me if you find anything you want to try.
Probably the best thing to do is just try a bunch of things and see how it goes. If I see something we can swap, I should press right trigger. Well, would you look at that? Sure are a lot of round things around here.
Oh boy! That means it's time for me, right? Oh boy!
My hair is also round.
Let's see. To use Missile's powers, I just tap RT. I'll try it and see what happens.
Something, you can't, you gotta move your cores, your ghosts out of the
Yeah.
way so they don't get in each other's way.
Right.
I think they did that so you couldn't just swap something while Sissel's riding it.
Here you come already.
I swore to myself not to repeat my mistakes.
Mistakes.
When somebody's in trouble, you should lend them a hand. Otherwise, you'll definitely regret it. And now the recklessness of youth has taken over, giving me lightning-fast speed.
I've been thinking. If we could stop this man from running, maybe he wouldn't get squished.
It won't be easy to stop me once the recklessness of youth has taken over.
Stop him, eh?
Sissel's in there.
Well, I thought I moved him.
You're gonna swap the baseball, or swap the...
Trying to figure out how it works.
You just moves Missile, hit Missile at something else that has the same shape. And then you have to dodge the other cores, like when you're trying to avoid talking to someone.
Guess those can't swap.
I think you can swap the tire and the... I think you can swap the tire with the thing in the globe spinner, though. There's like a basketball in there. So,
Yeah. Alright, let's see if that does something. Oh.
so
So heavy I can't move it very much.
Maybe because of that swap I made?
Guess the little ball's about to be all the weight I can handle. Ah. So he launches you up there. Or I could maybe have the basketball up there. Maybe that would do something different.
yeah. Multiple.
I think I've missed my window already.
Well, the whole point is to experiment right now. I do think it's interesting they give Missile all this momentum, but the counterbalance is you're not allowed to trick anything.
Look at this funny flattened ball. It's the same shape as that horrible Mino, but it's too far to swap it from here.
Even this ball is starting to look horrible to me.
Have to find a way to get this ball closer to that Mino thing.
Knock it down from the tree, I say.
Must be something we can do. Probably won't be on the football for a minute, but
What do you think of my lightning fast pace?
wish you would knock it off. That's what I think. We don't have time to prepare. I think we're gonna have to find a way to stop him from running.
As far as I can see, the only way to do that is to use the playground equipment.
The what?
You know, the seesaw, the swing, those things.
Precisely. Except there's one more piece of equipment to be exact.
Stop him with the equipment, huh? Maybe I should rethink things here.
I think you have to do something with the globe to change his fate. When I just first watched this game with Sci Guy, it was a playthrough that clearly knew all the solutions. I didn't realize how many wrong answers and traps there are.
I would have thought that the tire would have slowed him down in there. Of course, I guess if I have him jump on this with the tire sitting right there, that could be interesting. Don't know what that's going to do. I also don't know what will happen if I have the baseball in there. Probably nothing.
I'm trying to think how you managed to get up there with Sissel in the present. You gotta open the... You don't have to go back into the land of the living to swap.
I can't.
So you have to have the baseball there in order to get Sissel into range of the globe.
Yeah. Move Missile out of the way.
Oh, I think you gotta see if you can grab the... Yeah, see if you can spin that while he's on it.
Wow, didn't see this coming.
Missile is a great Doge.
Yeah.
Just switch to the Doge, dude.
Don't you know the first thing about the globe climber?
Huh?
Even little children treat it with the respect it deserves. They know that unless you spin it gently, there's no stopping it.
Yeah, it does look pretty dangerous.
It looks like I'm just destined to fly through the air like this for a while.
This might buy us some time.
Maybe he'll just keep spinning around like that the whole 4 minutes.
I'm sorry, but I don't think I would stand for it that long.
Anyway, at least we stopped him from running for a while. Let's do what we can while we have this chance.
Didn't give a fate change checkpoint.
So I could swap maybe some of these letters.
I don't think so. Oh, that's how you got up. The leaflets. Okay.
Oh, that was so close. If it hit the ball, it could have knocked it down.
Is that all this umbrella can be used for? For knocking the rugby ball down?
Don't forget about my powers.
And don't forget about my recklessness of youth.
I think I see where it's going.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you though. I'll let you figure it out. Dialogue.
Do I need to restart?
No, I think you can solve it from here.
Oh. So he's gonna jump off of this, and it's gonna shoot a ball up here and land in the umbrella.
I think so.
But I have to figure out what the most useful thing to knock up there is. I did it with the basketball earlier, didn't
Well,
I?
he launched the baseball up, but there was no umbrella there.
Right. Was it the baseball?
He did the first time, but I think you could probably...
Should it be the baseball or the basketball?
I would guess the basketball because that's heavier.
Yeah, that's what I would think too. Plus, it's another manipulation I'd have to make.
But then you've got a nice net there.
So did not see that coming. Never thought the umbrella would catch the ball.
Did you see that? The tree branch, it shook a little.
I think I saw it shake too.
If it only shook a little more, I would knock that terrible rugby ball down from this terrible tree.
Maybe it just needs a little more weight.
I'm sure we can do this. We just have to put our heads together.
Everything looks good so far. We just need one more step. Swap in the tire. But I have to be able to reach the tire.
Maybe get Sissel to spin it.
Yeah.
This is so tiring, Nerd says.
Look at that thing go.
Doesn't look like it's going to stop for quite a while.
These globe climber novices.
Huh?
Even little children treated with this.
Yeah.
What?
Zad is just hinting you.
Wait. Problem is there's nothing else to swap there now. And that's stuck inside.
But I'm not sure. Wait a second. Oh, I bet I know what you were supposed to do. I think our order of operations is wrong. I think you have to have the tire
Over here?
Yeah, and you have to have the baseball inside the globe.
Yeah, I think so, because then I could probably reach the tire from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, but we got this. I enjoy Sissel going, huh, to everything this guy says.
Mhm.
It's a subtle game. Well, I mean, he did it with the Justice Minister, too. When, the Justice Minister was always talking about how terrible he was. No, well, maybe that'll work. And then you swap them one more time. Guy's so busy on the swings, he's not noticing all this flip-flopping going around.
Mm-hmm. That ought to do it. Now, I'll hang out here.
Get ready to spin up the... Oh! Yeah, okay, so you should be able to get to the, yeah, you gotta grab the baseball there. She loves this game.
I'm glad you love it. It's been pretty fun so far.
Alright, now you gotta wait for the basketball.
Really, I probably want to get him out of the way. There, we moved the ball. What do you think, Missile?
With the ball there, I think I can do it.
Just a few seconds, you'll swap Nino with the leaf. And then from there, you can swap Nino one more time. Final moments near, Missile. Are you ready?
You bet.
I think you have to... I think it's one of those nick of time things.
It starts to fall, you catch it.
Yeah. These are the longest seconds in the world.
Oh, he just does it.
Okay, watch me, Sissel. Here I go.
The finishing touches. You can do it, Missile. Swap Nino with that ball.
Here, how's that?
My head has been spared! Truly, that was a try worthy of the gods!
And now, Mino's right where he belongs.
We did it again, didn't we? Didn't we?
Fate averted.
Now nobody has to die.
Except for that one brave little somebody.
Huh?
Talking about you, Missile.
Oh, me? I guess you're right. I'm still dead, aren't I?
So now let's go back and save your life.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
Now that I think about it, I think I want to stay dead a little longer.
What?
When I was alive, I couldn't even help kiss Miss Camilla when she was in trouble. I want to be able to protect Miss Camilla. And to do that, I need these powers I have now.
I see.
Perfectly understandable. Even I wish I had powers like that.
Hey, we just saved you. Don't wish your life away already.
Oh, of course, you're right.
Okay, Missile, have it your way. By the way, Mr. Reckless Youth, there's a certain detective who needs that music box you found. When we get back to the present time, could you give it to her?
Certainly, you have my word.
Let's go back then to the present.
And so Camilla ended up in the hands of the kidnappers. We weren't able to change that part. Lynn listened to my story without saying anything. Sorry. Wish there was something else I could have done.
No, you did the best you could. I'm sure she's all right after all. After all, she has me. Missile, are you in there? Leave Miss Camilla to me. I know I don't look like much right now, but I'm sure we can help her. Missile. Eek! Listen!
The dog was blown away and into a river.
I'm gonna leave it up to Missile.
Kind of looks like Missile's being left up to the wind.
Ooh! I have something to give you. Stop the park from being turned into a housing site. Protect the park, the Rock of the Gods.
Aren't you forgetting your promise?
Oh, pardon me, pardon me. My apologies, this is for you! Oh!
Hammer space.
You kept the music box safe, didn't you? Thank you.
Just shoved it in her butt.
Not at all, I was only doing what the Rock of the Gods would have wanted.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
He's mesmerized by my beauty.
Hmm.
Hey, the cat's not allowed to get your tongue.
Excuse me, but are you? No, it couldn't be.
Have we met before?
Aren't you that little girl from that time? I'll never forget it. It was 10 years ago in this park.
10 years ago? Are you talking about...
Here in this park, the gods surely control fate. Today, 10 years from that day.
Probably looks a little bit less weird on the DS's tiny resolution.
We meet once again. If that isn't the power of the gods, then what else is it?
Could just be a coincidence, but apparently you know our lady detective here. Could you tell us about it? About what happened 10 years ago?
Yes, of course. I was actually just about to do that.
What's this Rock of the Gods you keep mentioning?
Don't you know? It's right there in front of us.
Missile. Wait a minute. You say G-O-D-S, but do you mean D-O-G-S?
Of course not. Don't be silly. There's no time for ridiculous word games. You're standing just above the Rock of the Gods now. Take a good look at that monument.
Monument?
Rock of the Gods, Temsic Park.
The Rock of the Gods.
The The rock is buried in the ground right there. It's been there these 10 years. Ever since that day, it flew down from the heavens and showed us a miracle.
A miracle.
So this rock you've been talking about is a meteorite? Precisely! It dropped from the sky on that day 10 years ago. That rock of the gods, 10 years, Psycho Mantis. Surely you know all about it. Me? That day, I just happened to be passing through this park. I had no idea that day would change my destiny. The sun was going down, and through the gloom, I heard the scream of a little girl. Now just calm down and drop that weapon. Stay back. If you come any closer, I'll shoot her. I peeked out fearfully from the bushes and saw some shadowy figures. I didn't see the face of the criminal clearly.
I will note they are covering up the hair type of our criminal. I don't know if that matters, but it might.
Considering the silhouettes in this game.
Yeah, I know.
I knew I should do something to help, but I couldn't move. The tension was so thick it was painful, just when I couldn't stand it any longer. That's when it happened. The sky suddenly burned bluish white. When it crashed into the ground, the meteorite gave off a shower of beautiful fragments. And then I saw it, one of those beautiful fragments, pierced into the criminal's back. The judgment of the gods was brought down on the park that day. "10 years ago, the little girl that was saved was saved by the Rock of the Gods.
Oh my, I can't believe it.
The Rock of the Gods was given the name Timsic, and still today, it lies sleeping deep in the park's earth."
I never knew about this Timsic. I always thought Detective Jowd was the one who saved me.
You were very young then, and you passed out from the shock of being taken hostage. Of course you wouldn't remember.
But that's funny. A huge incident like that should have caused quite a stir. Strange you never heard of it, Lynn.
It is, isn't it? But now that I think about it, I remember I didn't want to think about what had happened. I avoided the news, and I never came back to this park again. That's why I didn't know anything about it.
The meteorite was named Timsic after the name of the park it fell in. And then the Rock of the Gods was forgotten. Now an awful thing is happening. They're talking about turning the park into a housing site. I'll never forget the miracle I witnessed that day. And so I've taken up residence in this park, and I'm trying to appeal to the people. Protect the park, the Rock of the Gods. That is my mission.
I see.
Emoji spam.
I'm taking you with me, Missile.
So 10 years ago, the little girl that was Lynn wasn't aware of the meteorite. I get that, but Detective Jowd, on the other hand, there's no way he didn't know about this Timsic thing. And if he knew...
And the man died. I took his life.
What was that confession of his all about? The rocks of the gods that fell from the sky 10 years ago changed the destinies of many people's lives, like the ripples on a pond when a pebble's dropped in. With every answer I get, I learn about a new mystery. Will I be able to break the chain of mysteries before dawn? Considering it's 1:28 p.m., probably not. Anyway, now that we have the evidence we need, we decided to meet up again at the minister's office. Besides, there are a few things I want to ask Detective Jowd.
We found the music box, Detective Jowd.
Good job, Lynn. I knew you would. Once everything had been resolved, I'd wanted you to give this to him.
Him? You mean Inspector Cabanela, right?
I don't suppose he'll ever forgive me.
Detective Jowd.
Now then, let's get this thing open. There's a certain knack to doing it, you know. See?
He calls that an act? Looks more like brute strength to me.
Here you are.
Yes, look down the barrel.
You should find scorch marks on the grip.
Scorch marks?
When Camilla built her contraption, she used a special kind of string. It's a kind magicians use. It burns up in an instant and disappears.
Why would little Camilla use something like that?
I don't know. Maybe because she's a detective's daughter. Not leaving any evidence behind and all that.
In that case, report there was mention of some scorch marks. I thought he got shot just now. I was like, that's why you don't look down the barrel.
When it happened, I'm not. I think this is Jowd. When it happened, Camilla was watching from her hiding place. She saw the flame run to the gun, something she naturally didn't include in her design. I took the gun out of the frame and replaced it with a picture. If you remove the picture, you should find scorch marks behind it on the frame, too. And those marks should match up with the ones on the gun.
In other words,
It proves the contraption existed in that room that day.
And it didn't work the way your little girl intended, is that right?
Exactly. Some cowardly culprit modified the design.
But that angle was never brought up in court. And so, as Justice Minister, I must call off the execution at this point.
I knew I was right. It wasn't Detective Jowd. Now we can finally prove that. Thank goodness.
Thank you, Lynn. In those eyes of yours, I see the eyes of that little girl from 10 years ago.
What's the matter? I just don't know. What should I have done 5 years ago?
Back then, nobody had any way of knowing the true nature of the manipulator. It wasn't anybody's fault we didn't know the truth.
Do you really think so?
Of course. Besides, what's important right now is deciding what to do next. Am I right?
She's right, Mr. Minister.
Yes. Yes, of course. I do believe she is. What is it now? I just don't know. What should I do next?
You'll figure it out. We believe in you.
Sissel, if you hadn't come to my cell tonight, I would be gone by now, without ever having known any of this. This is what I deserve. That's what I told myself these past 5 years. But things are different now. Thanks to you, my eyes have finally been opened.
Tonight, I've come into contact with a lot of people's lives and got involved in their fates. The only reason I was doing it was to regain my own lost memory. Things are different now. We're connected to each other somehow, and I just know it. That's why I need to ask you a few more questions, in order to find out the truth about us.
Fair enough. Fire away.
Sissel told me all about it, Detective Jowd. About the manipulator.
Yes, it looks like this manipulator really did a number on the minister, too.
Ah! Please don't pick on the minister. If he dies again, I'm the one who has to save him. Oh!
Sissel, do you think that's what happened to me too?
What are you talking about, Lynn? Don't tell me. You were manipulated too? There was I think that's you.
There was always a part of me that just couldn't believe it. The image of the one who shot me, but now I see the possibility of a new explanation.
But who is it? And why did they do it? That contraption was a birthday surprise for Camilla's mother, wasn't it?
That's right.
Something's been bothering me about it. I feel like I know that device from somewhere.
No surprise there. You lost your life once tonight because of that machine.
Right? I knew it! See, Detective Jowd?
No, I'm afraid I don't see.
I told Detective Jowd about it. Told him about seeing the exact same contraption tonight in a completely different place.
That's very strange indeed. A junkyard on the edge of town? I've never even heard of the place. And what's more, I've never told a single soul about that contraption.
You haven't?
The old pigeon guy. Who in the world is he? Detective Jowd, you must have heard this name before. Timsick. The meteorite that fell in the park 10 years ago. You were there.
So you found out about that, did you?
I hear that meteorite saved little Lynn's life.
That's right. I couldn't do anything to help Lynn that day.
But in that case, I don't get it. If it's true, doesn't it mean you didn't steal somebody's life away?
What are you talking about?
Detective Jowd, you told me that 10 years ago. The person who killed that perpetrator in the park was you.
What? But it was the meteorite!
I wasn't lying. I stole that man's life away. No question about it. It was entirely my fault. I was just about to shoot him. I would have shot him in the next instant if the meteorite hadn't come. At that point, I was already a murderer.
That's not true! You were trying to save me!
Lynn, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's really it.
Huh?
On that day 10 years ago, a different incident happened in another place.
Another place?
Yes, in the police headquarters interrogation room. The worst sort of incident. A suspect who was being questioned escaped.
Wow, I didn't know about that.
I happened to be there in the detective division, so I joined the chase. Fortunately, or I guess unfortunately, I was able to track him down alone in the park. Hold it right there! I fired a warning shot. I wanted to catch him, bad. That warning shot made him panic. At the time, I was young and green, detective, brandishing my sense of justice like a sword. I made him panic and got you involved, Lynn. It was all my fault.
Detective Jowd.
All I could see was my target. I couldn't even see you. I'm so sorry, Lynn.
So the man who grabbed me died that day.
These last 10 years, I've never forgotten his face. And then a few years after that, when my wife Alma died in such a mysterious way, I thought it was fate, my punishment for what I'd done. I painted pictures in my cell, nothing but portraits of people's faces. All the faces of the many people I'd met in my life and didn't want to forget. And tonight,
Also, there's the rock thing right there on the wall.
I finished my last portrait, the final face I wanted to remember.
The good man I killed, Sissel.
The final face. The face of the man in the park that day.
Thus, we couldn't see his hair in the profile. Wait just 1 minute. That can't be. I saw that painting. I saw the face you painted tonight. It was my face. You telling me I was the man in the park that time?
That's right. That face of yours is the face I saw 10 years ago. The face of the man whose life I stole. Of a man who was pronounced dead at the scene.
But hold on, Detective Jowd. That can't be true. I just met Sissel for the first time tonight. And he died right in front of me.
By the way, the name I know the man in the park that day by isn't Sissel.
What?
From the first minute I laid eyes on you tonight, I've been wondering, who in the world is this guy?
Mr. Minister? Inspector Cabanello, where are you? Just be quiet and listen. This is our demand. What? Demand? Our demand hasn't changed. The execution must be tonight. Once we've confirmed it's been carried out, we'll release the hostage. What are you talking about, Inspector Cabanella? You know it wasn't my daughter who was abducted. Does it really matter who the hostage is? A life's a life. Even if it's the daughter of a death row prisoner. Once the criminal gets the punishment he deserves, the hostage will go free. Carry out the execution immediately and wait for our call.
What is it, Mr. Minister? You look paler than ever.
What in the world? What's going on? Inspector Cabanella! The rock of the gods that fell from the sky 10 years ago twisted the fates of many people and started a chain of tragic events. And even now, the chain continues to grow even longer. Inspector Cabanella's call proved that to us. And the greatest mystery of all has risen to the surface. Who's this me I've been chasing all night? Who am I? I'm even further from knowing than when I started. Dun dun dun. Called it. Not because I think it makes sense, but just because I don't know that many other significant characters that they would need to mask the hair of. And Sissel has that crazy haircut. So, there we have it, folks. The big twist, or another big twist.
Oh, we are nowhere near done with the twists yet.
I figure it's been twisty and turny the whole way, and it will continue to be. So right now we're being double-crossed by Inspector Cabanela, but he's probably doing it for a just reason, but we don't know what that reason is, and we're going to find out, but
He could be being manipulated.
maybe he could be. We don't know.
Find out tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Where we'll stand around and look at each other for a while. And then punch each other in the face one time and then go to the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. I think that's a good spot to pause. So we did about an hour and a half. You want me to keep playing, huh? Let's see. It's 5:19. Let me go to the bathroom and check in with my wife. You'll know for sure whether we're going to keep going in the next 5 minutes. If you want to watch another episode of this, let me check in. So, be right back.
Is that really what episodes are like? Maybe it would make good work noise.
Yes and no. Yes and no. There is a lot of standing around and charging up and posturing that happens in Dragon Ball Z. I still like it because it was my childhood, but it's honestly not that good of an anime in lots of ways. Like, there are people who took the good stuff from Dragon Ball Z that had never been done before and improved on the formula in future anime. Like, the problem was that it was a serial
Manga.
type thing where they wanted to stretch it out as long as they could. So both Dragon Ball Z and Naruto and Bleach, One Piece, they kind of do this thing where they stretch stuff out because it's this serial,
And they add filler episodes to keep so they don't catch up with the manga yet.
Some of the notorious stuff that happens inside of, like, Naruto, for example, is, like, Becca and I call Naruto the flashback ninja because they will jump back to something that happened earlier that episode, and it is the most annoying thing in the world. I really hate it. But it's still an excellent anime, especially towards the later seasons, because I think that they realize, okay, we don't have to stretch it out, because it was kind of in that in-between time where you used to have, like, old style of week-to-week on TV, and then we moved to on-demand internet viewing, which is more the way of things now, like partway through Naruto, basically. I remember Tyler Wilcox was watching some of Naruto while I was in college online, so it was during that sweet spot, and you got the change. And I tell you what, it's good. I just recommend if you watch it, specifically Naruto, look up anime filler list and skip all the filler episodes, and you'll be happy.
Or at the very least, make sure you find the good filler. Like
There are
when
some-
Dragon Ball Z, when they learned to drive cars.
That is a funny filler episode. And there is a funny filler episode in Naruto as well where their ninja teacher Kakashi, he never takes off his mask. And they are imagining what's behind the mask. And they do everything they can that episode to pull it off of him, and it just keeps not working. So it's a pretty funny episode, and that's a good one. Okay. I will be right back. Like I said, I'm going to go to the bathroom, check in with the wife, see how things are going, and then you'll know within 5 minutes what the call is.
I don't think it's less that Dragon Ball isn't good, and it's just more the anime was poorly paced. But the actual content of the show has its merits that everyone loves. I mean, that's why Dragon Ball Z Abridged is a thing. That's like boiling it down.
It is good.
Exactly. It's like boiling it down to like the best parts while also making jokes out of it. I mean, I'm sure if you look back at like the history of Superman comics, you could probably find. I mean, you've heard of Super Dickory, right? Where all those weird comics in the Silver Age, where Superman is doing all those ridiculous things. You bet you could make it a bridge show. I bet you could. Y'all are so good at conversation. Good voices, reasonable looks. Only reasonable. I mean, come on. You know what I need to do? I need to get some hair gel, and I need to put my hair up in the Sissel. I could probably pull off a Sissel cosplay. Grow my hair out long enough. I'm tall enough. Just get a nice red suit, get a big blonde wig, put on some sunglasses, get the black shirt and the white tie, and I could go around and have somebody like moving things. Although I guess I technically wouldn't be. I guess I technically wouldn't be cosplaying as Sissel, but my co-host doesn't know that yet. You think you'll put your stream off till tomorrow? Don't want to step on any toes. We'll probably be done by 6:30 or so. I mean, you might run a late stream, but you know, see how it goes. That's very late for your standards. Fair enough. Does your co-host not watch the VODs? No, he really doesn't. He's kind of hands off on the whole thing. But anyway, he's gonna find out like this current chapter. So, got to be reasonably awake to be good at Sonic. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, he should be back pretty soon, and we'll get this party wagon started. Make him don't. Wait, what? How close to the end are we? Let's see. This is like I think there's like 16 chapters, and this will be chapter 14. So we're pretty close to the end now. I'd have to look it up to be sure, but just sort of mentally pathing out the scenarios in my head. Let me see here. Okay, so it looks like there's 18 chapters total. So 4 more chapters after this. Not enough time. I doubt we're going to finish it tonight, but we'll get at least one more chapter in. All right. This is a long 5 minutes. Oh, okay. No more whistling. I'll stop that then. Would like for our gracious co-host to hurry up. Ah, there's a shark in the chat, or Godzilla, or something. I think that's Godzilla. All right. Hmm. It's fish bones. Jinx is canon. Gotcha. Wouldn't it be easier just to take the trash out? Hmm. All right, I won't breathe on the mic. Is that better? This room needs better lighting. Jeez.
Panic when I come back.
I was just putting my phone down and I misplaced it, but
You put it down firmly.
Are you coming to
Not-
Thanksgiving
that's the plan.
for both Wednesday and Thursday?
I think so.
Cool. Okay,
All right.
so we're gonna do another chapter,
Hooray!
and then I'm gonna get ready for bed
Oh,
because I have to get up and go to work because that's my life right now.
such is life. Chapter 15.
2:55 a.m. We've traveled back to the AMs. 10 years ago, a man named Sissel took a little girl named Lynn hostage and then was killed by a meteorite fragment. Tonight, a man named Sissel met a detective named Lynn at a junkyard in the edge of town and then was killed by a bullet. But the scene I find waiting for me on the other end of the phone line feels like the final nail in the coffin of my lost memory. I see myself.
There you are, Commander Sith. Finally. Cecil, where have you been, my good man? We've been looking everywhere for you. Had a little unfinished business to take care of. Didn't think it would take this long. What about your people? They sure went out of their way to mess me up. I say, I believe we fulfilled every one of your conditions in our little deal. What right do you have to complain about anything outside our bargain? We can talk about that when we get together. This will be our last communication by telephone. We'll arrive in 1 hour. I look forward to seeing you, Sissel.
Dawn's approaching. The darkness surrounding my own mystery is deep, but I know it's always darkest before the dawn. So another twist right out the gate. There's a bunch of men.
Yes, we're nearing the final stages of our little deal, my good man.
Yes, sir. All preparations are complete, sir. And we just had a report, sir. Lights have been spotted, sir.
Have they now? By all means, let me have a look.
Beep boop beep.
Yes, we're very close.
We will disconnect from the communications cable and have no service until we arrive, sir.
Very well.
Beep boop beep.
Thing does everything.
Oh, interesting. It's a fun little reveal.
It was interesting on the 3DS because it switched from gameplay to FMV.
Austin says, what a twist.
Nice try, Inspector Cabanella. But you could never stop me. See ya, sucker.
So, that submarine guy and his people have a deal going on with me, huh? If that's the case, they probably aren't the ones who killed me, right? Anyway, there's definitely something behind the inspector's death. I think I'd better talk to him. Hey, you think you could wake up for me? Oh boy, still unconscious, huh? Guess he hasn't been dead for very long then. I'll just go ahead and go back to 4 minutes before his death.
Can't trust blue people.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about what I might see there, though. But if that's where I'm going to find my answers, I can't run from it. Once the criminal gets the punishment he deserves, the hostages will go free, or hostage will go free. Carry out the execution immediately and wait for our call. Twisty, twisty, twisty.
That's a good boy. Gee, a hostage sure is a handy thing. Gives me complete control over the top police inspector in the country. What's the matter? All those broken bones smart a bit? What's it like to feel pain? Does it make you feel alive?
Why? Why are you doing this?
Now, is that any kind of question for a top inspector to ask? Isn't it obvious? Revenge, of course. Revenge on all the people who stole my life away 10 years ago.
Don't be ridiculous. It was a meteorite that stole your life. Or have you forgotten that?
Wrong! I was murdered by all of you! Detective Jowd, who chased me down and forced me into a corner, even though I was innocent. Lynn, that girl who was right there where I was running.
Lynn, she was just an innocent little girl playing in the park.
If that brat hadn't been there, I never would have thought of taking a hostage.
That's the most self-centered garbage I've ever heard.
And finally, you, Inspector Cabanella.
Me?
If you hadn't done what you did, I never would have pointed a gun at your kid. You were so proud of your spotless record. And the case was, in my case, was the one blot on it, wasn't it? Only two people know the real truth. Me and Detective Jowd. I bet tonight's execution will be quite a relief to you, won't it? One of the people who know about the stain on your record will disappear for good. That's why you didn't help him escape from prison. That's the kind of guy you are.
I got nothing to say to you. You'd never listen anyway. Ye gods.
Now then, Inspector. Time to make a big red stain on your spotless white coat. This was another condition of my deal. To wipe out everybody who knew about Temsik.
My roast is ruined.
Revenge? That's what I'm up to? None of this makes any sense. Hey man, mind telling me what's going on? Inspector Cabanella is awake. My head is spinning, baby. Am I to understand that Cabanella character who just got shot is me? That's right. You're supposed to be the scoundrel there who just shot me. I guess so. But you couldn't be, could you? Huh? After all, the guy in the red suit just walked out the front door, right? So, who are you? Guess I just have to face it. I'm not that Sissel guy. I'm somebody who's searching for himself. That's why I'm here to save you. At the very least, you have that information about that guy in red. Information I need. So you came on a rescue mission now, did you? Nothing like the sound of that, baby. Because there's a very important life here somewhere. A life valuable to this nation. Okay, do your thing, baby.
That's a good boy. Gee, a hostage sure is a handy thing. Give me complete control.
Yeah, we're rehashing. So you're a manipulator too. I have ghost tricks, powers of the dead, yeah, but I can't control living creatures. Anywho, I think you better be very careful. That guy in red's a manipulator. Naturally, he knows about powers like yours. He realizes you're here. Things might get a little sticky. You're right, I'd better be careful.
Do a trick.
Look at him. There's that something emanating from his body. Is it really the sign of having special powers of the dead? What's going on? I've never seen the ghost world like this.
So, you're here, are you?
He sensed my presence.
I noticed. You think you can stop me, do you? I don't know why you're wearing my face, but you might as well give up now. I control everything.
Damn it.
Everything, including the life of this police inspector in white.
Wait, don't shoot! That's a fun little thing where he like turns and looks at you. Time's up. The other me knows the powers of the dead well. Who wouldn't notice what you just did? You were practically shouting, "Look at me, baby!" Looks like it might be hard to save you under these circumstances. Guess I can't use my powers right in front of him like that.
You had to see that
Yeah.
death condition.
Guess I'd better rewind the clock again and see if I can pick up any other clues. Yeah, that was pretty fun to see it happen. Top of this bookshelf's lined with books. The one on top is balanced so precariously, it's a wonder it doesn't fall off. How'd the old pigeon guy even reach up here? And I wonder if he makes his pigeon fetch it for him. Assuming at some point he steps forward a little bit, or maybe when he's shot I can do something.
What's a map? Dialogue.
He noticed even then? We'll just go back. Either way, he does smash the kettle and make it go on the ground, so I should probably hang out in the kettle and let him pass time. So I can reach whatever that is down here and go downstairs probably.
Look downstairs.
I can't.
Well, look what you can see downstairs.
Stuff. Broken stuff. Look at this place. What in the world happened here? I think I'm starting to remember. Something bad happened here, and now there's another death lying hidden here. What? Another death? Did not tell you right from the start. Did not say there was a very important life valuable to the nation here. I thought you were talking about you. Huh. I'm just a crazy character in a white coat, baby. Pigeon Man, no. You've been de-pigeoned. Hey, come to think of it, where is that old pigeon guy? Oh, he dead. Whee.
He's been decapitated.
I'm probably supposed to talk to him. Part of me wants to drop his body through the floor.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, he can. Not surprised him with the mountain of rubble on top of it. There appears to be a death buried underneath that rubble. Please help that person. Would have been funny if they let me just drop his corpse down. Excuse me. Are you awake?
Of course. I never sleep during work hours.
Professor, you recognize me?
There's only one crazy character in a white coat that I know of.
He hasn't lost his memory.
I'm not the type who likes losing things. But never mind that. Cabanella, this is quite a surprising guest you brought with you. Pretending like he didn't just blow up the place.
Are you talking about me? Oh, this is a different guy. And I'm his guest, actually. Said he came to rescue us. Unlike you, my sharp friend, he still hasn't gotten his memory back.
Pitiful.
Ow, that hurts. Anyway, now we'll be going back to 4 minutes before your death, in order to change your fate, that is. Are we already in the past, man? But we can go back even further. I've done it before. I still don't see a path to saving Inspector Cabanela, but if we go back further, maybe I'll find a lead. How many times do I have to tell you, Professor? This place is dangerous.
You'd be daft. I can't leave now. He's completely dead. But just as I thought, I'm getting a reading. This is the source of his powers. If I remove it...
He's not dead, he's just not there. True form of the manipulator isn't something you can detect, it's a spirit.
Ridiculous. So you figured it all out, huh?
He's a toast guster.
You're a clever man, Inspector Cabanela.
So it's really true. You're...
I wasted a lot of time tonight because of you, Inspector. But it's all just like you said. I died 10 years ago. This body is just a vessel, a shell. I control everything. The shell, people, just like I controlled the Justice Minister in Lamb.
like Mega Man soundtrack going on. So it's true. You were manipulating my baby that time? You made her shoot your shell. But why? Why would you do a thing like that?
To create conclusive evidence. You know, on that security tape. Now she's a murderer too. She'll suffer just like Zhao did.
Yeah, Capcom, baby.
Now then, Professor, I'm afraid it's time for you to die. I don't have any grudge against you. I'm even grateful to you. Oh yeah? So why don't you just let me leave then? I'll be leaving this country forever tonight. But before I do, I need to erase all evidence that these powers of mine exist. Along with the contraption in this room. This time, the thing will work it was meant to, and it'll all be over. Cupid won't turn this time. He'll shoot his little arrow that way.
Professor, look out!
Dynamite, eh? When the devil did he put that there?
He planned it all out tonight. Having my baby shoot him, having his corpse disappear. His corpse disappeared? That medical examiner, remember him? He was a complete and utter imposter. A blue guy. He said he was gonna take the corpse back to the lab, but he'd already made a deal with the manipulator to meet him and give him the body back. But I wasn't gonna let that happen, baby.
You saw through their plan, eh?
I noticed right away the medical examiner didn't know the first thing about examining a body. I knew he was a fake, so I tracked him down and bought him off. Bought him off? I had him smuggle the corpse to this room. Thought we could find the source of his powers. Of course, never in my wildest dreams did I think his abilities were powers of the dead.
Anyway, there isn't much time. He's leaving the country before dawn.
And I'm gonna follow him, of course, after I save you two. But something's been nagging at the back of my mind. I remember what Ray said to me tonight. He said the spirits cease to exist when the day breaks. But if that's true, how could a spirit from 10 years ago still be here? No time for thinking now, baby. Action's the name of the game. Work your magic and take us back even further into the past.
Thought he was pretty sus.
Can't open it. Could the fact the professor's standing on it have anything to do with it?
I may look small, but I'm pretty heavy set.
He sounds so proud of that fact, too. This door, such a pity. Too bad it doesn't open downward. Sometimes life can be so hard, wouldn't you agree, Professor?
Yeah, that's why we're both dead.
A door that opens downward, huh? Alright, man, jump in there and stop that explosion, would you? Easy enough for you to say.
Foolish of you to say, too. If you stop the explosion, he'll just do me in some other way.
Fair enough. Jump in there and take care of that man in red, would you? I repeat, easy enough for you to say.
And most likely impossible to boot. That huge explosion didn't even make him bat an eye.
Well, what do you propose then, Prof, pray tell?
Your best bet is to save me during the explosion without him noticing.
Easy enough for you to say. Sheesh, what's with all these people? Anywho, jump in there and do something. What in the world's this thing?
This device has that meteorite data entered into it. If it detects Timsic radiation, it responds.
Got that, kid. Isn't it a lovely thing? Guess sometimes it's important not to think about things too much.
What a sorry pair. You be daft. Fool, what do you think you're doing?
Just thought I'd try it out.
If you do, you're going to set the contraption in motion.
Oh yeah.
He just thought he'd blow me up is what he thought.
Oops, my bad. But there aren't a whole lot of things I can use on my tricks on in this room. Just repeating dialogue.
I love the way they make him move. Now then, Professor. No. That was terrible. All right. Oh, there's a bubble appeared.
As you perhaps have already noticed, time's running out, baby. Yeah, no, perhaps about it, I know. But you know, there aren't a whole lot of things I can use my ghost tricks on in here.
Looks like it's all over.
Unless I find another path, I'm sort of at a deadlock here.
Cecil!
Hey, I know that voice.
Help me!
Where are you?
Find me! Before I'm carried away!
Was that frail sounding call for help? He's here somewhere.
A friend of yours?
Yep, little guy looks like he's a little fragile, but has strength that'd surprise you.
Here comes
Dog
the
emoji.
boy!
Well, he's asking you to find him.
And before he's carried away, no less. But I'm almost out of time. Should I look for him?
Don't you have the ability to move the camera around in the live world?
Sister!
Oh, hey, it's,
Mitchell!
what are you doing there?
You really have to ask? Seriously, are you really going there?
No, that's okay. Never mind. Anyway, I need your powers. Will you help me out?
Of course! Here, let me come join you. Okay, here I am, Cecil.
Now maybe things will flow in a new direction.
Even though the flow of the sewer is a little bit stinky. Do you remember how to use my powers?
Yeah, you can swap things that have the same shape, right?
Well, to be precise, I can swap things that look like they have the same shape.
What's the difference?
As I was being carried by the wind and falling into the river, I realized something. If you look at a thing from different angles, it looks different.
You know, that's a pretty good point for a little doggy who came from the sewage. There's nothing that looks like that.
I think. Yeah, there you go. But from whose perspective? Obviously ours, but they don't know that.
There's a ball. Those squeaky guys are making a fuss about something.
Thistle, my animal instincts are starting to surface.
You mean you want to chase them? I think you have to be alive to do that. Must be some kind of rat feast in that trash can.
Those things usually make a bigger commotion than that.
Bigger commotion, eh?
Okay, let's stop the explosion.
No, can't do that.
Okay, let's take care of that man in red then.
Nope, can't do that either.
We can't do this, we can't do that. What can we do?
We let the explosion happen, then we rescue the old pigeon guy without the man in red noticing. And your powers are the key to all of it, Missile.
Oh, I didn't know about that, but I'll do my best.
We're talking about a matter of seconds. We can't miss our chance. Now that's what I'd call some proper commotion.
Yes, boy.
Best boy.
They're making that trash can dance.
Truth be told, I feel a bit like dancing now myself.
It's getting harder and harder to hold my wild instincts back.
What a dangerous punch. Look out!
Sorry, little pigeon. As for you, Inspector, I have a little job for you.
I can't move. I think I have 4 or 5 broken bones.
I don't mind. It won't prevent me from manipulating you. Might make it hurt a little bit when I move you, though. Quite a bit, actually.
Damn you.
Watch you, Swahili.
Believe it! You lot actually pulled it off!
Sorry, Inspector Cabanella. Couldn't do anything to help you.
There I am, a poor broken heap of arms and legs. No matter, I enjoyed the show. Magic disappearing act, there it is. Nothing like it, baby.
Yeah, except, unlike a normal magic trick, I'm the one who managed to vanish without a trace here.
Fate averted.
What's the matter? You look like you'd rather be dead. Not that you aren't.
I was just remembering the fact that right about now, the real me's giving the poor justice minister a real fright.
Oh, no, that's you.
On that phone call? Yeah, he was pretty upset.
Excuse me, mister. You really shouldn't be mean like that.
What's this lively little creature?
Well, this little doggy's the warrior who keeps Camilla safe. Or he would be if he was actually still full of life. Camilla. God's in heaven. What a terrible thing. That poor little girl taken hostage.
It's a cruel twist of fate, indeed. Wait just a minute. Miss Camilla is a hostage?
Yes, we're sorry, little warrior.
Miss Camilla? A hostage? What's a hostage?
Anyway, Inspector Cabanela, it's time to save your life now. You couldn't get very far when you tried before, am I right?
But this time it's different, right, Cecil?
That's right. With us working together, it's a whole different situation. We'll save the Inspector in white, then we'll go rescue Camilla, okay?
Okay, let's hurry up and get through this.
Gee, kids, you're making me feel like an afterthought. Alright, let's get started. Inspector Cabanela is upstairs, so our first step's to get up there.
Cecil, I'll go up first and wait for you. Okay, Lovey-Dove, we need your help. Carry this measuring device upstairs. It has Mr. Ghost in it, so don't drop it.
I think if you wait too long, he will drop it. You have to reset.
That's funny.
There you are, Cecil.
Sorry for the wait, Missile. 4 minutes from now, the Inspector will be killed by a gun. You just jump in there and stop him from firing, would you? There you go again with that stuff.
Besides, it doesn't make any sense.
What happens if a ghost is in something and it gets destroyed? That's a good question.
Yeah.
If you stop him from firing, he'll just kill you some other way.
Wait a minute, that sounds familiar.
Yep, same situation as mine. Your best bet this time around is to allow him to shoot and then save Cabanela without him noticing.
Ugh, it's even worse than last time. Anywho, just jump in there and do something.
Okay, I'm ready to jump in, Cecil. Don't forget, whenever you want to use my powers, just tap right trigger.
Oh, that's missile.
Not a whole lot to interact with over here. At least nothing I can, like, reach and do something with. Stuck on something, it won't budge.
Maybe the man in white put a curse on it. Yeah, like a message. Do something to help me. Ooh, that's spooky.
If I have a message for you, I'll tell you myself, thank you very much.
Okay, go ahead.
Stop messing with the battered old hoist and do something to help me.
You heard him, Cecil.
Oh boy.
Well, you gotta have the kettle to make your staircase up.
Trying to think about what I can do here.
Objection. Oh, did you see that? The bat thistle turned around.
Do you have to call him that? But yeah, maybe this is our chance to try some ghost tricks. It's the only time it takes his eyes off me, too.
If you have something to do it now.
Take the first steps towards saving the Inspector. Oops. Well, wasted my chance there. Let's start it over, shall we?
Wait. Aw.
What?
You get a really funny death if you wait till the very
Oh.
end without succeeding anything.
Gotcha. If real life's anything to go by. Got grit, little pigeon. Better get up there before the little pigeon's strength gives out. I'm not going to. I'm just gonna see what he does.
Very disgruntled bird.
Why? Oops. Looks like my little pigeon fin ran out of steam. Maybe that was her way of throwing in the towel. Anyway, I won't get anything done from down here. All sort of ended before it began this time, didn't it? Maybe I better start over.
Hey, don't go working my lovey dove too hard.
Seriously, his pigeon's name is Lovey Dove? Just wanted to see what happened.
That's the fun of being able to have infinite save scum.
Archimedes!
So to save this character in white, we should do it without stopping the guy from firing and without him noticing. In other words,
Once it's fired, the bullet will be the key to this whole thing.
don't
Don't
forget.
forget, whenever you want to use my powers, button.
So I'll hang out for a second. It's like I can knock the helmet on the ground. I can swivel the lamp and turn it on. Those are the only things I can do here.
I think swiveling the lamp will be important.
Probably.
What was that?
I'm looking at the shapes I have on the floor now.
All the emojis in YouTube chat.
I bet tonight's execution will be repeated dialogue.
That's the kind of guy you are. Ugh. I got nothing to say to you. You'd never listen anyway. I could technically do some more tricks now. Nope, it just wants to reverse time right away. I can move the lamp and whack him.
Well, not the lamp. You can reach the stool now.
Oh yeah,
Yikes! I'm a little scared right now. Why didn't he die?
because he's already dead. He died 10 years ago. Knew full well he wouldn't die if I shot him. Why'd you go through the trouble of shooting him at all?
It's almost up. That's enough chit-chat.
Now the situation's changed slightly. These last split seconds are our chance. Whee! Old pictures of what look like little fragments of rock.
Those are Tensic fragments. There's an article from back when it was big news.
10 years ago, nobody really understood it.
I guess that's still true today.
So what exactly is this thing? Looks like a giant nail clipper to me.
No, it most certainly does not. It's an instrument used in analyzing radiation-emitting matter.
Oh. Yeah, I see. Not alone, kid. None of the rest of us understand it either, baby.
Yeah, you said it.
Hat jiggle time. So I can swap the book over here. Thinking about what that will do. Okay.
Well, would you look at that? Right on the hook.
I loved it. It's so warm and most of all soft.
Hey, now that I'm looking at it, that hat's the same shape as the helmet you just knocked down.
Thought so.
Now then, Inspector, time to make a big red stain on your spotless white coats.
Well, it's like I have that and I have to.
You can't do anything with the helmet on the floor.
The kettle and The ladder?
You're about to talk to Sissel.
Oh, I was like, what the
that
heck? I was so confused.
Yep, we know this.
He's going to shoot! It's too late! It's no use! Even with my powers, there's nothing I can do!
I don't see anything to swap the bullet with.
I guess you didn't make it in time.
Sorry, Inspector. Guess I'll have to try again. Again? I'm gonna get shot again? So I knocked the hat on the floor. I don't know if that was a good idea. Am I supposed to swap the bullet with something shaped like a bullet, like a knit cap? But that doesn't even look like a bullet to me. Not really. I guess that's what they want me to do. Yeah.
I can swap it with something, you know?
A knit cap, so he gets shot with a hat.
Chat, he doesn't know.
I don't think it looks like a bullet. I think that's a silly solution.
If you just leave the Met hat there, you can swap the Met hat for the bullet.
And then whack real hard.
Everyone's like, that was clearly not the solution.
Have to weigh it again. Go ahead and punch that kettle on the floor. Yay!
Okay, chat, he knows now. It's funny, I always think of those hard hats as Met hats. You gotta wait for Sissel to get a chance to take a ride on the Stepladder Express.
Yep. Blah, blah, blah. I wish I could speed up time. Got nothing to say to you. Bam!
The most undignified poses. I love it.
Yeah. Trick time. Wee. Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, move him along, little doggy. Alright, now you just wait. It's like Mino, you have to wait
Yeah.
for the split second.
That is not what a bullet looks like. It's not enough of the shape.
Alright.
He's going to shoot!
I'm gonna get shot again. No, our chance is coming up.
Yeah.
Would you look at that? The bullet is hanging in midair, between the gun and the inspector's forehead. Now's our chance! I'm hearing the bullet right now. Let's swap this little thing with something else.
What? It's our only hope. There's gotta be something here with the exact same shape and direction as the bullet. Zoop.
I don't think you noticed. Looks like you pulled off another magic disappearing act.
Now I say again, I love knit hats. So warm and most of all, soft.
Did I do all right? You did a fine job, little one. You saved another life. Keep doing it too. What I just saw in these 4 minutes gave me all the answers I've been looking for.
All our research these past 10 years pales in comparison, right, Professor?
This guy's a terrible assassin.
So you two were working together. That's about the size of it, yeah. Who would believe a story about a manipulator? So we pursued it ourselves, just the two of us.
I'm quite a crazy character myself, after all. Okay, let's hurry back to our time. We have to rescue Miss Camilla.
You're right, Missile. There's a certain guy I have to follow, too. A certain me. I have to keep track of.
I'm just gonna lie here for a while.
After completing his revenge on Inspector Cabanela, the man in red left. And now a new story is about to unfold in a new present.
How are you feeling, you old crazy character?
It's me, the old me. I'm back. I'm
back.
bad.
It's Robotnik, boy.
Yeah. Hey there, Prof. We're both alive, I see. Yeah, nothing like it, baby. But I don't know if I'm getting old or what. I've got a few aches and pains here and there. Used to be a little thing like an explosion wouldn't bother me.
Yeah, right. I am going to believe that. So what, the guy in red's gone, eh?
Just in case I posted special investigation units all around the building. Let's just pray the boys come through for us. Damn it. You picked a bad time not to listen to me, body of mine. Not as much dancing gonna happen, I guess. If I knew things were gonna end up like this, I would have tried to die in that explosion, baby. That way I could have been dancing after Big Red by now. Might be able to erase deaths, but it's true I can't do much about injuries. But really, you shouldn't talk that way. Yeah, sorry. I suppose you're right. Just hate feeling so helpless. He was right there within my grasp. All our plans were rested on tonight, and then this had to happen. If you prevent Inspector Cabanela from dancing, you have sinned. Yes, he's thinking about his spotless record. It's not too late, Inspector. We still have a chance. Maybe I can catch him. Say, you're right. That's not a bad idea. I'll cooperate with you fully. Go ahead and fire away with any questions you like, Mr. Ghost. Revenge! That guy mentioned revenge. Revenge against the people who stole his life away 10 years ago.
He's a fool. He's the one who made the decision to take that little girl hostage, and he wound up dead. He has only himself to blame.
What about when he said this?
I was murdered by all of you. Jowd, who forced me into a corner. Liv, the little girl who was playing in the park. And finally you, Inspector Cabanela. You hadn't done what you did, I never would have pointed a gun at that kid.
Yeah, 10 years ago on that day, Special Investigation Unit was working on a certain big case. We hauled in a young man, an important witness to our investigation. And then I did it. I made 2 very stupid mistakes.
Detective, I'm telling you, I don't know anything about it.
Fine. You're under no obligation to talk, of course. But if you don't, the Special Investigation Unit can make the rest of your life a living hell.
But
I'd just been assigned to the Special Investigation Unit, you see. They didn't share much info on big cases with a newbie like me yet, and I wanted to impress them. It was only supposed to be a simple matter of taking his statement, but I was too green. I pushed him too hard, drove him into a corner, and made him lose all hope. That was my first mistake. Then I made another mistake on top of that.
Cabanela, got a minute? The chief wants to see you about your report.
Got it. Be right there. You stay right here. Be a good boy now. And that's when I did it. I left it behind in the interrogation room. My gun.
how could you?
He used my gun to escape. What he said is true. If I hadn't made that mistake, he never would have had a gun to point at Lynn in the first place.
Oops.
Pretty big oopsie.
We first found out about the manipulator's existence during a certain overseas communication. Overseas communication? For national security purposes, this country keeps tabs on the communications networks. This particular communication was about making a deal with a certain foreign country. He said he wanted them to buy him and his powers. That's how we first heard about him. Of course, we didn't know what he looked like at the time. And in order to prove these powers of his, he gave them 2 predictions. He foresaw 2 completely preposterous impossible cases. Case of a man who would sing national secrets during a live rock concert broadcast, and the case of a man who would take the chief commissioner hostage in his own office. Those 2 inmates at the special prison, eh? We kept tabs on their communications and launched an investigation. Then finally we pinpointed where they were going to meet tonight and staked it out. That restaurant, the Chicken Kitchen. The manipulator plans on leaving the country tonight on a submarine that belongs to the other country in this deal. Submarine? But we haven't been able to find out where it's gonna surface. It's terrifying to think what would happen if his powers were to fall into their hands.
Right. Highly unlikely they'd use him for peaceful purposes.
And now they have that little girl as a hostage. Camilla. We have to stop him before he leaves the country. This spotless record of yours, is it really that important to you? Of course, baby. In some ways it's more important to me than my life. Than your life, huh? After all, it's because of my record that I'm able to get hands on all intel as head of the Special Investigation Unit. And because of my position, I get to direct all aspects of the investigation into the manipulator case. Oh. The manipulator case? That's why you cared about your record so much? Of course. Why else, baby? I never could believe it, man. Zhao shooting Alma. Didn't care that he confessed. There was something, definitely something more to the story. Some secret. I did everything I could to climb the ladder, everything in my power. And then I finally found the answer. It took 5 long years, though. The manipulator. He's going to prove that Zhao's innocent. What incredible determination. There's one thing I just don't understand. If you were so determined to help Detective Zhao, why didn't you help him escape from prison? That's an easy one, baby. Escaping from prison's a crime. I wasn't about to help him commit a crime after spending 5 years trying to prove him innocent, and he himself asked to be executed, you know? As a man of the law, I had to make sure the execution was stopped legally.
We all live in a blue purple submarine.
And that's why I brought him before the Justice Minister, too. I needed to buy as much time as I possibly could, baby. So that's it, huh? There's one little unfortunate result of all this. Lynn completely misunderstood your intentions. What's a little misunderstanding? My baby will come around, give it time. But there are more important things to do with our time tonight. Mr. Superintendent, do you mind if I talk to you for a minute?
I haven't always been a junkyard superintendent, you know. I used to be part of the police.
The police, huh?
Not as a detective, but as a medical examiner. I investigated victims' cause of death. 10 years ago, I was asked to autopsy a strange corpse. Hit by a meteorite fragment and died instantly. That's what the police report said. There were no signs of life. He was definitely dead. But I never filed an autopsy report. It's because the corpse suddenly vanished, leaving behind only one clue.
That's you.
Unusual corpse. I bet that's what I've been chasing all night. Could you tell me more?
Yeah, sure. I have an interest in you recovering your memory and finding your true identity, too. That's the only way I can describe it, too. It was an unusual corpse. He was dead, all right. No question about that.
He made it, despite your tricks.
There wasn't a scratch on him.
Not a scratch. I thought he was hit by a meteorite fragment.
I don't understand it any more than you do.
His suit perfectly red, no blood.
I was completely bewildered, but when I tried to autopsy him, I was even more puzzled. I couldn't perform the autopsy.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
The scalpel went in, but I couldn't cut. As soon as I tried to make an incision, it would heal up at the very next instant. That's how it went, and no scarring or blood either. And I never had the chance to solve the mystery.
That's because the corpse up and vanished on us.
The morgue is well guarded. Nobody could have stolen that body, but there is one way the corpse could have disappeared.
What's that?
It got up, opened the door, and walked out on its own.
What?
He was dead, but he wasn't dead.
We saw it with our own eyes tonight. Not even that explosion could kill him. And he didn't even feel it when he slammed his fist on the stove.
The corpse left behind some data from some testing I did. I got some readings from some kind of radiation coming off that body.
Radiation?
I used all kinds of instruments, but I couldn't determine exactly what kind of radiation it was. Some undiscovered type from a world unknown.
Wait a minute, could it be?
That's right, it was coming from that meteorite fragment. I went to that park and tested the spot where the meteorite fell. And just as I expected, I detected radiation coming from that crater. It was the exact same pattern of radiation as that of the corpse. At the time, I thought he was some kind of immortal being. He would die only to come back to life. I wanted to research it all in depth, so I quit my job as a police medical examiner.
And became a ghost hunter.
Several years later, I came to learn the connection between my research and the manipulator case, thanks to the arrival of this crazy character here.
Oh, stop now, Professor. You want to see me blush?
It was about a year ago, I'd say. This man in white came dancing into my research lab here.
I heard there was an oddball here who's researching Timsick. Is that you, baby?
Who are you to be calling anybody an oddball?
I was investigating the manipulator case then, and then I heard there was a man who'd quit the police study, or forced to study the meteorite. When I heard that, it was like a meteorite had struck me on the head. At the time, we were just starting to get leads on this manipulator. We didn't know who he was yet, but we knew he was communicating with a certain foreign country. In one of those communications, we heard the manipulator say this.
The source of my power is not of this world.
And that's when I put two and two together, baby. The manipulator case and Timsick were somehow connected.
Which also explained how 5 years ago he used his powers to manipulate a birthday surprise a little girl made for her mother.
He added that gun to the contraption, most likely by controlling Camilla. So that contraption in the basement here, you built that to try and help Detective Jowd.
That's right. Jowd and I worked together back when I was with the Force. I used the reports of his case to try and recreate the device. But there was just one part of it that I couldn't reproduce no matter how hard I tried.
Camilla told Jowd it did something it shouldn't have, made an impossible move.
I added that part to the device I recreated. I put in a part that would allow Cupid to rotate. Otherwise, the gun wouldn't fire.
So that must mean somebody manipulated Camilla's contraption. As a result, we proved to ourselves that the manipulator actually existed.
Inspector Cabanella!
Hey, baby. Sorry about that phone call. I must have sounded like a real villain. I hated to spoil your image of me. That cool cat inspector you've always looked up to. Is that really the image she had of him?
Inspector Cabanela, I'm sorry. I just heard. You were chasing after that man all this time to try and help Detective Jowd.
This manipulator is such a dangerous character. I was hoping you didn't have to be involved.
So that's why you had me arrested tonight, isn't it?
Like I always say, if somebody's in the way, throw him in the slammer. Yikes. Tonight. I really thought we finally had him. But my body gave out on me right at the critical moment. It's like a cruel joke.
But a joke is a joke. You might as well laugh.
Jowd!
The minister called off the execution order. And while he was at it, he let Detective Jowd go free until tomorrow morning, too. That's a pretty extreme while he was at it.
Sorry I took so long to get here. You can leave the rest to me.
There you go again. You've always been like that. You make everybody else run around, and then you swoop in at the last second.
Jowd. 5 years ago, you left this coat with me just before you turned yourself in. I promised to give it back to you one day.
It's one heck of a dove.
It's a funny combination.
I've been waiting so long, Detective Jowd.
The prison jumpsuit.
Waiting for this day to come.
Thanks for not giving up on me, Lynn. Okay, I'm off then.
Good luck, my old friend.
This present you gave me, it's just what I needed. Thank you.
Glad you like it.
Sissel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You and I have to go find that man. I need your help. Will you do this with me?
Sure, but how? We don't know where the submarine is, and the phone line doesn't work.
They use communication cables to make their calls. We'll get you hooked up somehow. You'll see. Could you wait here until we do, please?
Okay, fine. I'm counting on you.
This true self you're looking for. I bet you'll find it soon. All right, I'm leaving, Inspector Cabanela.
It's almost dawn. I'm not who I thought I was. I'm actually further from knowing who I am than ever. But now I don't feel so alone. Each one of us, for his or her own reasons, is looking for the truth. Together, I think we can shed light on these mysteries and drive away the darkness. But it's almost dawn. And that, my friends, is where we call our quits. That was actually a lengthy chapter.
It really
too.
was.
It was a fun one though. Lots of story.
Lore dumps.
Mm-hmm.
The pieces are coming together.
Well, I hope you all had a good time, and Thea, I hope you were able to hang out since you really wanted to see it. If not, you can go back and watch it later, or if you feel like it. Yeah.
Oh,
So. Fantastico. So I can't guarantee next week.
Black Friday and all that jazz.
I just don't know yet. We might stream.
Saturday, but who knows? Too soon to tell.
I think it's likely. I think we can. The big issue, well, I mean, for you, since you are recently in a different status, we might be able to make it happen with more flexible time. And then with me, I just have to deal with getting up in the morning, and it's going to depend if I'm really exhausted from Thanksgiving and going into work. But hopefully I'm not. So either way, we'll get it all sorted, and we'll probably stream next week. So
The conclusion is coming.
farewell, friends. I hope you all have a great 7 days, and I'll see some of you in sooner than that. Exactly. Probably see some of you Wednesday. So later.